Shattuck St. Mary Sabres taking on Morgan Stanley, Minnesota Elite Navy. Your starting lineup for the 19U squad is going to be Claire Clifford, Rebecca Heitzel, along with Julie Jebiskova up front. Your blue liners are going to be Eloise DeBus and Ava Karami. In net is going to be Max Sunderbuck, and there's 17 minutes on the clock to get this contest away. Firing a shot right away is going to be Jebiskova, and saved by the goaltender right on the Devil's door at 16:45. The Sabres wearing their home whites with maroon on their shoulder pads, along with numbers and letters on the front and backs of their sweaters. There's going to be a maroon and black armband piping around the arms, waist, and socks. The shells are all black, along with helmets and gloves. On the left wing corner is going to be Heitzel and Clifford. On the far side, Karami in the left wing corner, chops it loose here behind the net, picked up by Morgan Stanley. And they swing around here to the near side. Past JJ. Out of the zone they go. Break play broken up by DeBus, who's going to send one back into the left wing corner. On the forecheck is going to be Julie, and Jebiskova forced to go to the far side. Clifford, sauced out past Clifford. Coming in hard is going to be number 19, Kate Watson. Play broken up by number 7, McIntosh. And back the other way, here comes Navy. Morgan Stanley want to work against McIntosh. Coming in is going to be Jebiskova, who pushes one forward, sends it over here to the near side for Clifford, who backhands one out in the neutral zone, and it's collected by Morgan Stanley, who goes D to D here to the near side. Fanning at it is going to be Morgan Stanley. Firing a backhand shot is Watson. Play knocked down, puck knocked down by Morgan Stanley. Back in the right wing corner, picked up by Watson, who sends one out to the slot and was looking for Satterstrom as that play was picked off by Morgan Stanley. Here they're going in front of Silliman. Silliman knocked it loose behind the net of Sunderbrook. Bounced off the puck is Morgan Stanley in the right wing corner now on the far side. Coming in is Watson, picked off here by Silliman, who breaks it up the ice here towards Satterstrom. Satterstrom headmaning up out of the zone towards number 15, Stamp. Right back the other way comes Morgan Stanley at 15:30, and they pull it back for a regroup. Pushing it up the ice. Pop free by number 8, Gravy. Gravy right, Hasbrook fires a shot. Blocker saved by the goaltender, and it's going to be going the other way. Cut off by Nemke as the puck slides out of the zone, and it's collected by number 5, Wallner, who goes cross ice for Vasily, who sends one in towards Gravy. Firing the backhand shot, the pad saved by the goaltender here to the near side, and sent out to Nemke, who is covering the D slot, and here he comes the other way. In front of number 12, Schultz. Schultz breaks up into the left wing corner here on the near side by the Zandors, and picked up here by Nemke. Nemke goes cross ice, hits Wallander, offers stick towards the penalty box. She collects it and sends it in deep, and it rings around left to right behind the net. It's slowed up by the Morgan Stanley netminder, and they break it out on the far side. Cut off by number 9, Sophia Monaco. Puck is loose for Morgan Stanley. Here they're coming the other way in front of the bus. The bus and Karama patrolling the blue line. In comes Monaco to knock it free behind the net. The bus coming in. Monaco on the defensive side of it now. Chipped over here to the near side towards Weaver, and collected by Morgan Stanley, and it's cut off by Monaco, who pulls it back, and Monaco goes cross ice and hits number 15, Stamp, who drops it back into the hands of Karami, who cuts back around behind the net. Karami pulling it up here to the near side by Sunderbrook, pushing it up off the boards. Kept off by Morgan Stanley. Coming right back the other way is going to be Morgan Stanley. Centering pass play busted up by DeBus. Sends it over to left point. Karami coming all the way out. Putting pressure on the forward, who's going to knock one down out of midair and throwing it back for DeBus. DeBus, left wing corner by the Stamp door. Coming in is going to be DeBus, pulling it out with Monaco, knocked it free. And DeBus going to throw one off the glass. Puck's going to go down past the defender. No icing as it's waved off in the right wing corner. Weaver comes in to pick it up. Weaver on the forecheck all by her lonesome. Here comes support, and Heitzel headed to the net. Got Silliman at the right point, couldn't get it to her. Weaver going to have to cut back inside. Loose change picked up by Rekka. Rekka sends it over to the far side, or near side for Clifford, who fires from the bottom right circle. Glove saved by the netminder of Morgan Stanley. Back into the hands of Heitzel. Bounced up in the air by Clifford here on the near side, right wing hash marks along the boards. Heitzel comes all the way into the slot, tries a toe drag, and it's knocked free by Morgan Stanley, and it's picked up by JJ. Julie Jebiskova pushing it inside. She's hooked up, no call. Cross it for Rekka, right hash marks. Backhand pass for Jebiskova, and that's a Sabres goal. Right on the Devil's door at 13:24. Let's get a replay on that, folks. It's going to be Jebiskova over to Heitzel. Heitzel goes backdoor backhand for Jebiskova, who buries it at 13:24. JJ buries one from 10 here in the first period. 13:24, and it's 1-0 Sabres, folks. As they make their way back out to center ice, it'll be Clifford, Heitzel, and Jebiskova. Blue liners are going to be Silliman and McIntosh. Back up on the far side is going to be Morgan Stanley pushing it past the Sabres, then down low for Silliman. Silliman fakes the slapper and sends it, trying to reverse the ice, cut off by Morgan Stanley. And they're playing a little catch behind the net, and it trickles on the far side. Picked up by McIntosh, who hits the brakes. Right wing corner, far side, goes cross ice for Clifford. Clifford off the boards, it goes out of the zone. Coming in is going to be JJ along with Clifford. Jebuskova coming in. Best Clifford is going to be Morgan Stanley breaking up the other way. Heitzel on the back check now in front of Schultz. Coming in, firing a shot wide right of Sunderbrook. Here to the near corner. Picked up by Morgan Stanley. Cycling at top of the left circle. Comes all the way across high slot. Poke check away by Rekka. Out of the zone, it's going to trickle. And Morgan Stanley going to regroup at 12:35. Pulling it back. Morgan Stanley coming away with it. Out past Heitzel, breaking it up the ice and dropping it back once again is Morgan Stanley. Cut off by Wallander, pushing it up here to the near side. Morgan Stanley goes cross ice right on the hands of Emma Schultz. Schultz across center now, pushing it up the ice along with Silliman, or that's going to be Satterstrom's toe. Schultz behind the net, trying to cycle it back around here for Satterstrom. Intercepted by Morgan Stanley. Nemke going to collect it though at neutral ice, and she's going to curl back around, crossing over, right over left, into the far side she goes, left wing corner. Down behind the goal line, Nemke going to work. Watson looking to set up shot in front of the net. Thrown past Wallander on the far side. Out towards Satterstrom, and here you go. Satterstrom cuts it off. Picked back up by Morgan Stanley. Knocked loose by Satterstrom towards Watson. Watson kind of going in, throwing in. It's going to go off the shin guards of Morgan Stanley, up and out of play at 11:47 to go here in the first. 1-0 is your score, and the Sabres go for a little bit of a wholesale line change. Out there now is going to be Stamp on left wing. Vasily on right wing. Grady is going to be your centerman. Blue liners are going to be DeBus and Karami. And sending it a corner by Vasily, who sends it off, ringing around from right to left on the far side. Coming in a Stamp on the forecheck now. Heading towards the blue paint. And the netminder of Morgan Stanley going to smother it. And we'll get a whistle at 11:34 to go here in the first. Face-off goes to the left wing circle. In the offensive zone for the Sabres. Grady going to take your draw on the far side for Stamp. Coming in is going to be Graby, knocked free by Morgan Stanley. Pass Karami out of the zone. It's going to be one-on-one in front of Eloise. Back checking is Karami. Play broken up with a nice stick by DeBus. DeBus up to Vasily. Headman's over to Graby. Graby carrying it in wide right. Right wing corner, bottom of the right shoulder, head of the net is going to Stamp. Fires in a double door. Pad saved by the goaltender of Morgan Stanley. Back into the hands of Graby. He's going to send one down low. Looking to hit Stamp. Picked up by Vasily. Stamp heads back into the slot. And backing out of the zone is going to be Sabres, as it's cut off by Silliman. Chipped around her, tipped, and the puck is spinning dime in the left wing corner from McIntosh. Morgan Stanley beats her to it. Coming in is Silliman. Silliman's going to put her in the wall. Heitzel comes in to drag it out in the left wing corner. Towards McIntosh. High left wing has his fire shot. Saved by Sunderbrook on the far side. Picked back up and rebound. Muscling it forward is going to be JJ. It's JJ and Clifford in a 2-on-1. Back in the hands of JJ. JJ over to Clifford. Clifford fires a shot, and it's underneath the goaltender pants. And it slid in 5-hole, folks. Let's get the replay on that one. It was a one-hander. Looked like a just off the post it goes, and it actually went under the 5-hole. That's going to be a Claire Clifford goal here, assisted by Jebuskova. At 39 to go here in the first period. It is 2-0 as they make their way back out to center ice. Your lineup out there now will be Clifford, Heitzel, and Jebuskova. Your blue liners are going to be Schultz and Nemke. Right wing side, Clifford picking it up on the half wall along with Morgan Stanley. A 2-on-2 battle as Heitzel comes in. Picked up by Jebuskova. JJ sends it over to Schultz. Schultz fires one right into the glove of the Morgan Stanley goaltender. And we'll get a whistle at 10:22 to go here in the first. Face-off goes to the left wing circle in the offensive zone for the Sabres. And Coach Murray goes to the line change. Headed out there now is going to be Sophia Monaco taking your draw. Wallander heads to the slot with Weaver. Blue liners are going to be Schultz and Nemke left to right. Weaver sends it over to Schultz, who sends one down low. Puck's going to swing off there to the near side, cut off by Monaco. Monaco puts a body and knocks it free out the blue line for Nemke, who sends one back behind the net. As Monaco comes trucking in, picked up by Weaver, bottom left circle. Monaco sets the pick, no call on the interference. Thrown over here to the near side. Coming in is going to be Wallander on the back check now, or forecheck. Up towards the blue line, cut off by Nemke, kept in by number 14, picked up by Monaco, who cuts back, hits the cross-ice pass for Wallander. Wallander sends one towards the net, rebound off for Monaco, and the goaltender smothers it before Sophia can get a stick on it at 9:53, as White is all over the net right now in front of the blue paint. 9:53 to go here in the first. Face-off makes its way to the right wing circle now, and your lineup stays the same. Weaver heads over to the half wall. Wallander in the slot. Monaco going to take your draw. DeBus and Karami are right to left on the blue line. Monaco wins it, but it goes into the right corner off the Morgan Stanley forward. And back into the right half wall. Cut off by Monaco. Intercepted there at the blue line by Wallander. Backhands one towards the netminder. And we'll get a whistle as she smothers it. Weaver puts pressure on it at 9:43 to go here in the first. Back over to the right wing corner it goes. Face off once again. Coach Murray goes to the line change. Headed out there is going to be Stamp, Watson, and number 17, Satterstrom. Blue liners are going to be DeBus and Karami from right to left. Out to the point for DeBus. DeBus sends it in the right corner. Sabres going to work. Intercepted pass there by Morgan Stanley out of the zone for Karami. Karami sends one into the bench of Morgan Stanley right off a face mask. That's why they wear cages at this level. Otherwise, that would have been an expensive day for one of the Morgan Stanley girls. She would have been spitting chicklets, folks. 9:32 to go here in the first. Lineup stays the same. Satterstrom on right wing. Watson going to take your draw. And Stamp on left wing. Blue liners are still Karami and DeBus. Face off one cleanly back for Eloise, who sends it over to Ava. Ava up the ice into the hands of Stamp. Stamp knocked it free left wing handshake. She's got two on her. Coming in, center pass towards Watson. And a save by the goaltender right there in the blue paint. Kate Watson looking to bury one on the Devil's door. The Sabres showing good net front presence right now at 9:22 to go here in the first. Your lineup stays the same. It's going to be Satterstrom, Madrid in the slot. Face-off won by Watson, the far side for Stamp, but it's picked up by Morgan Stanley, who sends one D-to-D behind the net. Breaking it up here to the near side. Tied up here, cut off by Watson. Right back the other way into the hands of Satterstrom. Picked up by Morgan Stanley. Satterstrom on the forecheck now. And it's going to be Madrid along with Stamp, who sawed it loose. Picked up by Morgan Stanley, left wing corner. Pinching in is Karami. Backing up is going to be Satterstrom. Watson on the forecheck now. D-to-D pass underneath the net by Morgan Stanley, trying to break it up. It's been all Sabres right now, keeping it inside zone, putting a lot of pressure on Morgan Stanley. Puck is loose at the blue line for Sullivan. Knocked free by Morgan Stanley, picked up by Watson. Poke checked away towards Monaco, and here comes Morgan Stanley the other way. Firing a shot, and a save by Sunderbrook, picked up by Sullivan, who sends it over to the far side for Watson. Monaco breaks up the ice, trying to get it over to Vasily. Was going to be Watson, and it's stuffed by Morgan Stanley behind the net. Karami battling it out behind the net. Coming in is going to be Vasily in the right wing half wall. Monaco breaking up the ice. A little Gorbatenko flip towards Monaco. Monaco bounces over her stick, and it's picked up by Morgan Stanley, who's going to throw one the other way, all the way into the right wing corner. No icing. It's waved up, and it's picked up by McIntosh. McIntosh headmans into Monaco. Monaco sauces it over to Vasily. Vasily going to backhand one in the zone for Gravy. Gravy coming on the forecheck. Gravy looking to pick a pocket. Here comes Vasily on the right wing half wall along with Sophia Monaco. 2-on-2 on the forecheck in the right corner. And it's going to be muscled forward by Morgan Stanley, picked up by Gravy, who sends one right back the other way, cut off at the blue line by Sullivan and Monaco, and it's backhanded out of the zone by Morgan Stanley. Towards McIntosh. She forgot the puck right there in front of the Sabres benches. Picked up by Monaco, leaves it for Gravy, who's going to fire one forward. Monaco try to get a piece of it there, and it's dropped back into the hands of Mackenzie Gravy. Gravy, right wing corner, far side. Heads it towards Clifford. That puck's going to go down for an icing. And no whistle. There it is finally. Your first icing of the contest. So it's 7:31 to go here in the first. We're going to bring that one all the way back. Face off in the right wing circle to the left of Sunderbrook. Your lineup for the Sabres. Heitzel going to take your draw. Clifford and JJ in the slot with Nemke. And your other defenseman is going to be McIntosh on the far side, or Schultz rather. Schultz sends it over to Nemke here in the left wing corner. Sends it right back into the hands of Schultz. Nemke was tripped up there. Heitzel comes in for support. Nemke hands it back behind the net. Nemke busted off the puck there by Morgan Stanley. Going to work here, right wing side. Cut off by Nemke and Heitzel on the right wing corner now. Heitzel going to pick her pocket. Lifting a stick. Here comes Schultz. 2-on-2, 50-50 battle behind the net of Sunderbrook towards the right side. Then Schultz going to push it forward towards Rekka. Rekka on the far side, number 10. Pushing it up the ice. Hitting JJ. JJ up the ice towards Clifford. And play broken up there by Morgan Stanley. Pulling it back is Clifford. Clifford into Heitzel. And Heitzel across top of the circle. Puck protection tripped up, and she's going to go down. That's going to be a penalty. And it'll be a Shattuck St. Mary power play. As soon as Morgan Stanley touches it, we're going to get a whistle at 6:44 to go here in the period. And the first penalty of the contest. Tripping will be the call, I'm sure, on number 14 at 6:44. Penalties are 2 minutes now. This power play brought to you by Big Sammy's Hot Dogs. Remember what Big Sammy says, eat more hot dogs. Now serving 2 locations, one in Elk Grove, one in Elgin. Try the mozzarella logs, folks, they're fantastic. Your power play unit out there now is going to be JJ, Julie Jemboskova on right wing, Rekka Heitzel left wing it. Running the point's going to be Nemke. In front of the net is going to be Gravy. And swinging out to the far side will be Clifford. Heitzel dropped it to Jebuscova. Jebuscova high slot. Fires one in. That's going to be a Sabres goal. Tipped by Mackenzie Gravy. Let's see if we can get the replay on that, folks. From the right point. Coming in is going to be Heitzel. Dragging it over. Sends it over to Jebuscova. Jebuscova fires it. And Gravy got a piece of it in. So that's going to be from Gravy. From Heitzel to Jebuscova to Gravy, who buries it on the tip in. It's 6:19 here in the first, and it's 3-0 on the power play. Back out to center ice, it'll be Kate Watson taking your draw. Wingers are going to be Wallander and number 17, Satterstrom. Blue liners are going to be DeBus and Karami. Face-off now down on the left wing circle. It's 6-12. Satterstrom in the slot. Watson on the draw. Wallander coming in, trying to dig it up between the legs of Watson. Out to the left point for Karami. She's going to have to pull it out of the zone and regroup. Curling back around her forehand now. Nice little spin Marama. And puck is knocked loose there at the blue line. Picked up by Wallander. Wallander into the slot towards Heitzel. Picked back up by Wallander. Towards Heitzel, or Watson. Watson fires a shot on, and it goes up and out of play. At 5:53 to go here in the first. Faceoff makes its way back into the left wing circle. Satterstrom in the middle, in the slot. Watson going to take your draw. Wallander on left wing. DeBus and Karami from right to left on the blue line. Faceoff won by Morgan Stanley, pushing it up the ice in a 2-on-2 with Wallander back checking towards DeBus. Nice little Savard spinorama. Lost it off her stick though, and puck is in the hands of the Sabres in the left wing corner. Up off the glass, how to play it goes. We'll get a whistle at 5:38. Souvenir for the fans here at JP Parise Arena. It's like they got to throw it back like we're at Wrigley Field, folks. Face-off going to go into the left wing circle to the right of Sunderbrook's blocker. Gravy going to take your draw. Weaver out there along with Stamp. Blue liners are going to be Sullivan and McIntosh. Gravy wins the draw, but it headed right into some dangerous territory from Morgan Stanley. Weaver picks it up, pushing it towards Stamp, who uses Bob and sends it up the ice. All the way down to the left wing corner, no icing. Coming in is going to be Stamp, thrown on here to the near side by Morgan Stanley. And chipped it past Gravy on the far side for McIntosh. McIntosh back towards Stamp. Stamp in front of the Morgan Stanley bench is met by a sea of blue. Chipped back the other way by Morgan Stanley. McIntosh puts it on the wall, but the loose change picked up by Morgan Stanley. Fires one from the high right circle. And a save by Sunderbrook at 5:10 to go here in the first. Headed out there now for Coach Murray's squad. Silliman and McIntosh on D. Clifford along with Jebuscova up front. Rekka Heitzel taking your draw in the right wing circle. Heitzel wins the faceoff, sends it in the corner from McIntosh. McIntosh to Silliman. Silliman goes off the skates of Heitzel, chipping it forward to Clifford, and they're breaking up the ice. Heads it over to JJ. JJ pulls it back. Nice cut back by 16. Goes cross ice looking for Heitzel on the left wing. Hash marks on the slot. And just missing. Picked back up by Rekka. Bottom left circle. Fires a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Swatted in towards the middle. Looking to go off the back of the goalie was Clifford. The goalie just slid out of the way. Loose change right here at the blue line. Kept in by Silliman. And it's going to be picked up by Morgan Stanley. The backhands went out of his own Jalmerson style, and it's picked back up by Morgan Stanley as they push in the ice 3-on-2. Top of the right circle. Right dot. Fires a shot. Blocked somewhat by the Sabres. And pushing it up the ice towards JJ. Julie Jebuscova got a step on the defender. Nemke heads towards the net. Jebuscova. Backhand pass. Spin back behind the back pass to Nemke, and is saved by the netminder right there in front of the blue paint. And the puck is loose and free for Morgan Stanley, who sauces one up and out of the zone towards Emma Schultz. Schultz pulling it back inside her own zone. Goes cross ice for Heitzel. Heitzel waits, sauces it up to Clifford. Nice play by Rekka. Poke check by Morgan Stanley. Clifford sends it right back the other way for Schultz, who's got Heitzel blasting up the ice. Heitzel cuts across, his poke checked off it. She gets bodied off the puck, bringing it offsides. Nope. As it went right back the other way into the hands of DeBus. DeBus over to Vasily. Vasily up towards Wallander, who's going to send one in deep. Wallander chips one down low. It's DeBus and Vasily on the forecheck, backing up to Eloise now. Coming in is going to be Wallander, along with Sophia Monaco. Monaco high F3. Chip past Vasily. Coming in is DeBus. DeBus in the blue line. Cut off by Sophia Monaco. Puts the body on, knocked it free. That's going to be at the feet of Monaco. DeBus coming in. Chip loose by Morgan Stanley. It's going to be 2-on-2 in front of Karami and Wallander. Back checking is Monaco. Karami gets a piece of it off the shin guards. Rebound into the left wing corner for Wallander. Down low for Karami. Karami, right wing side, sends it up towards Wallander. Intercepted by Morgan Stanley back down to the right wing corner. Karami comes in along with Monaco, picked up by Wander. Wander sends it over to Monaco. Monaco up to Vasily. Vasily trying to push it right back to Monaco, and she had two girls on her. Loose change in the hands of Morgan Stanley. Poke check by Silliman. Coming in is going to be Stamp now. Stamp on the left wing hash mark inside the corner. Stamp going to drag it from left to right behind Sunderbrook. Sends it to herself, right wing hash mark. She's got Vasily and Monaco breaking up the ice. Vasily goes for line change. Tried to centering pass into Monaco. Picked off by Morgan Stanley. Thrown out of the zone. Put the stretch pass in front of McIntosh. High circle. Poke checked away by McIntosh. Picked back up by Morgan Stanley. Fires the backhand shot wide left of Sunderbrook. Bottom of the right circle. Picked up by Silliman. Silliman tried to hit Stamp. Stamp as the puck dances the blue line. Sends it forward towards Satterstrom. Satterstrom sends it bottom of the right wing corner down behind the net of Morgan Stanley. Picked up by Stamp. And the goes to the net. Right in front. Morgan Stanley play breaks up the center and pass. McIntosh gets taken down. Picked up by 17 Satterstrom. Sent to the corner for Watson. Nemke creeping high slot. We're going to get a whistle here. Hooking is going to be the call. And I believe Shattuck is going to be headed back to the power play as number 20. Heads to the sin bin for hooking at 2:22 here in the first. Headed back to the power play. This power play once again brought to you by Big Sammy's Hot Dogs. Remember what Big Sammy says, eat more hot dogs. Now serving 2 locations, one in Elk Grove, one in Elgin. Try the mozzarella logs, folks. They're fantastic. You can get a beer in Elgin. Your power play unit out there now is going to be Clifford along with Gravy, Jebuskova, Nemke, and Heitzel is your power play unit. And Coach Murray goes for the line changes. That was icing. And we're going to bring that one all the way back. Your lineup out there now is going to be Watson in your center, Wallander along with Karami up front. Vasily and DeBus are the blue liners. Vasily sends it over to DeBus, who's going to have to pull it back. Minnesota Elite Navy Morgan Stanley on the forecheck there. Out of the zone, it's going to be Karami at center. Karami across the blue line now, left wing side. Watson along with Wallander and so. Karami sends it down low, just missing the stick of Watson. Left to right, picked up by Morgan Stanley. Breaking out on the far side, cut off by DeBus, right wing hash marks. DeBus sends it back down low, picked up by the Morgan Stanley defender. Blocked by Wallander. Poke checked away by Morgan Stanley, who's looking to ice it down there. They do get it all the way down the ice. And they'll go behind the net of Sunderbrook. This is 16U or 19U hockey, so there is no icing on the PK. Typical or similar to NHL rules, it's delayed offsides in case you didn't know it. Off the stick of Wallander towards the goaltender, who's going to smother it. We'll get a whistle at 1:13 to go here in the first. 52 seconds to go on that Big Sammy's power play. Your lineup out there now. Heitzel going to take your draw most likely. JJ going to be top of the right circle. McGravy goes over to the half wall. Clifford in the slot. And Nemke high left point. Face off over to Jebuskova. It goes over to Nemke. Nemke with the one-timer. Pad saved by Morgan Stanley. Picked up by Clifford. Clifford over to Heitzel. Heitzel back to Nemke. Gets things going. Over to the near side for Julie Jebuskova. Back across for Heitzel. Firing a shot just wide right. That was a heavy shot by Hareka. Picked back up by Jebuskova. Goes back over to Heitzel. Left wing dot. Pulls it back. Fires a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Rebound smothered up there. We're going to get a little bit of extracurriculars in there as Clifford got dumped over there at the end, and Heitzel took exception to it and gave the Morgan Stanley defender a shot at 48.3 seconds to go in the first. 27 seconds remaining on that Big Sammy's power play. Face off won by Heitzel in the hands of Nemke. Nemke back to Recca. Recca back to Nemke. Nemke playing catch with Jebuskova. Bottom right circle fires a shot off the shin guards of the Morgan Stanley defender into the netting, and out of play it goes at 37.6 seconds. 16 seconds to go on that Big Sammy's power play. Heitzel on the face-off in the right wing circle. Clifford in the slot. Face-off one clean back for Gravy. Over to Jebuskova, who sends over to Nemke. High left point comes in top of the circle. Fires a shot. Pad saved by the goaltender. Rebound into the hands of Nemke, who sends it back out to Heitzel. Recca walks the line like Johnny Cash. Pulls it back across here for Jebuskova. And that's the end of that Big Sammy's power play. Jebuskova goes back door for Clifford. We are even strength with 17 seconds. Heitzel comes back, left circle, poke check through, picked off by Morgan Stanley, who's going to send one down. That'll be an icing. And we're going to bring that one all the way back. 6.1 seconds to go here in the first. And the Sabres go for the line change. It'll be Stamp, Monaco, and Weaver up front. McIntosh and Silliman on the blue line. Face off in the left wing score corner. And Monaco on the draw. Face off won by Morgan Stanley. Monaco on the forecheck along with Weaver. And puck's breaking out here to the near side. Picked up by Silliman. And that sound is the end of the first period. So at the end of one, it's the Sabres 3 and Morgan Stanley 0 as we head to the first intermission. This first intermission brought to you by Villaggio's Italian Restaurant in Roselle, Illinois. Villaggio, go to the #1 Italian restaurant in Roselle by me and Rocky. Stop in and see Berto, Edgar, Hugo, Brenda. Tell them I said hi, folks. Enjoy the intermission. Welcome back, folks, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Let's get ready for some second period hockey. Your starting lineup for the second period for the Sabres: Clifford, along with Heitzel and Jebiskova up front. Blue liners are going to be McIntosh and Silliman and Mackenzie Sunderbrook in net. With 17 minutes on the clock to start this second period. And the Sabres are working from right to left if you're listening on the radio. Pinching in hard is going to be Silliman. Backing up is Heitzel along with Jebiskova. On the half wall there is going to be Silliman, who busts it loose into the hands of Heitzel. Headed to the net is going to be Clifford. Kept in by McIntosh off the stick of Silliman. Tied up there by Clifford. Coming in the left wing corner is going to be Heitzel. Picked up by Morgan Stanley, who's going to break it out on the far side, right wing corner. And they backhand it out of the zone right into the hands of McIntosh, who pushes one forward to Heitzel. Heitzel, left wing corner. Deep angle shot, fires one right into the glove of the netminder, and we're going to get a whistle at 16:13 to go here in the period. And joining me in the broadcast booth is none other than number 14, the one-man wrecking crew, Elena Monaco of the 16U Sabres squad. Good to see her in the box. Looking to see some fireworks out of her in the game coming up here at 8 o'clock. Left point's going to be Schultz, who sends one in deep down into the right wing corner. Puck trickles off for Stamp. Coming in is Watson along with Satterstrom on the forecheck there. Puck swings off here to the near side by the jam doors. Out towards Schultz, who gets back inside of it. Empty at the right point. And Morgan Stanley going behind the net. Stamp on the forecheck. Swinging up the far side. Cut off by Watson. Kept in by Nemke, who throws him right back the other way off the shin guard of Morgan Stanley. He pulls it back to their defenseman. And she comes around right to left here to the near side, then pushes across far side. Out of the zone she goes, makes a move around Stamp. 2-on-2 in front of Schultz, who tips one right back the other way in the hands of Satterstrom. Satterstrom trying to go across, she's taken down. Picked up by Watson. We're going to get offsides is going to be the call. And we're going to get a face-off just outside the zone at 15:33 to go here in the second period. So the 16U squad, I believe, is taking on Minnesota Elite Gold. Compass Climate looking to avenge the earlier loss in the season is going to be the 16U squad. I think they're going to be out for blood. Mackenzie Gravy on your draw. Pushing it forward is going to be Karame. Gravy runs over the forward. The defenseman picked up by Wallander. Wallander top of the left circle. Center pass towards adds Vasily. Loose change picked up by Gravy. Gravy right dot walks it in. Fires a shot. Shot blocked by the defender of Morgan Stanley. Karame hooked. The puck is going to trickle out of zone. Sent past Gravy, who's going to get on her horse in a foot race. She's going to pick it back up. Sends it towards Wallander. Wallander to Karami. Karami pulling it back now. To the right wing circle in front of her own net. Cuts back here to the near side. Curls back around once more. Sends it over to the right wing corner. She was harassed by 2. It's 3 Morgan Stanley girls down by the net. Picked up by Morgan Stanley behind the net. Back in the hands of Karami. 14:52 to go here. Karami sends it out to the right side for Wallander. Busting up the ice is Vasily. Wallander to Vasily. Adds, goes in. Throws in the left wing corner. And it's going to go left to right on the far side. Here comes Sophia Monaco. Right wing half wall. Cuts her off. Puts the body on it. Knocks it free. Monaco to Hale. Knocked loose by Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley picking up. Monaco comes trucking in. Thrown off past Weaver. Weaver gets a piece of it. Bounced up in the air. Knocked down by the hands of Silliman. Picked up here by Morgan Stanley. Chipped past Monaco. Knocked loose by Weaver. Back in the hands of Sophia. It's Monaco, Silliman, and Weaver. Monaco goes left out. Fires one forward. Into the hands of Weaver. Knocked loose by Morgan Stanley out to the right point. Chipped past McIntosh. It's going to be Kaya Hale in a foot race. Picking up is Hale. Hale over to Sophia Monaco. Pulls it back around to her forehand. And she's going to push up the ice with speed. It's Monaco along with Silliman and Weaver. Monaco up to Hale off of Kaya's stick in the left wing corner. It's going to go. Kaya in a foot race now along with Monaco for support. Here comes Sophia, left wing corner by the Zandor. Trying to drag it forward. She does. Monaco back on the defensive side, pulling it up here to the near side. Left wing face-off out to Schultz, left point. Schultz fires one right into the glove of the goaltender as Hale and Weaver come looking for the tip but didn't get it at 13:48 to go here in the second period. Sabres go for the line change up front. Headed out there now is going to be Clifford, Heitzel, and JJ. Your blue liners, Schultz and Nemke. Face-off won by Heitzel into the hands of Clifford. Clifford to Schultz. Schultz, left point, bounces up the air, left wing hash mark, picked up by Clifford. Knocked right back into the defenseman's hands. Morgan Stanley picks it up. Minnesota Elite Navy going to work, pulling around Clifford. She knocked it free. Coming back in is going to be JJ. Out to the blue line it goes, past the Sabres bench, picked up by Nemke. Nemke pushing it up the ice versus 2. Nemke trying to move it towards the net. Blocked by Morgan Stanley. Chip past Heitzel. Frankie JJ on the far side, kicked it free towards Schultz. Knocked loose for Heitzel. Recca going to work with Clifford 2-on-2. Recca in front of the Sabre benches, cuts back high slot. Clifford goes bottom right circle. Recca goes bottom left circle. Now sends one forward. Saved by the goaltender. Shot loose by Clifford. Puck is rebounded out towards Morgan Stanley, who's going to send one towards Sunderbuck, who's going to have to make the save. She pulls it back in front of the blue paint. Sauces one out to JJ. Julie going to work, sends one forward towards Clifford. It's Clifford and Heitzel. Heitzel across the blue line. Looking, dropped it for Clifford. Clifford looks to fire over to. That was going to be Jabaskova and a save by the goaltender. We're going to get a whistle. That was a nice play back and forth there by the Sabres. Movement of the puck at 12:51. Here to go in the second. Face-off goes to the right wing circle. Satters from Watson and Stamp up front. Karame and DeBus are your blue liners. Watson wins it out to DeBus. Eloise sends it down low past Stamp. Puck's to ring around here to the left wing corner for Satterstrom. Satterstrom bodied off the puck. Coming in is going to be Watson. Watson chips it back to the far side. Stamp going to work. She's got a girl pinned in. Watson comes in now. Satterstrom tried to knock it free. She does to Karame. Karame to the right point for DeBus. DeBus fires a wrist shot. Knocked down by Stamp. Puck is loose, top of the right circle. Toe dragged around by Morgan Stanley. Picked back up by Watson. Watson curls to her backhand, trying to muscle it back towards the blue line, or towards the corner rather. Kept in by Karame. Back to Watson. Watson goes to the far side for DeBus, who fired, it's going to be Stamp, who fires a shot. And a glove saved by the netminder, who flashes the leather at 12:16 to go here in the second period. Face-off goes to the right wing circle. Lineup stays the same. Watson on your face-off. Coming in is going to be Satterstrom. Puck is loose into the hands of Satterstrom. Satterstrom right wing slot. Picked up by Watson. Watson over to Stamp. Stamp fires one shot blocked by Morgan Stanley. Off to the far side for Watson. Watson going to chip it past DeBus. DeBus curls and fires. Off the goaltender's blocker, up and out of play it goes at 12 minutes remaining here in period number 2. It's the long change, so as they would tell you, is get your changes in when you can, but right now the pressure has been all in favor of White as they go for the line change. Wallander, Gravy along with Vasily up front. Karame and DeBus are your blue liners. Morgan Stanley muscles it out of the zone. Mackenzie Gravy picks it up and drops it back to Karame. Touches it forward towards Wallander. Wallander comes pulling it in as Vasily had to walk the line. Vasily sends it down low, looking to hit Gravy into the left wing corner, swinging off to the right side now. Gravy picks it up, top of the right side, walks it across the blue line over towards Karame. Coming in left out, fires a shot, and a glove saved by the Morgan Stanley goaltender at 11:36 to go here in the second period. 3-0 is still your score. All 3 goals scored by the Sabres in the first. Coach Murray goes to the line change on the defensive side of it. It's going to be Wallander, Gravy, and Vasily up front. It'll be McIntosh and Silliman on the blue line. Gravy looking to pull it back. Wallander and her counterpart trying to crash in hard. Wallander gets the face-off. She met by 2 players from Morgan Stanley. Coming in is Gravy on the 50-50 battle. Trying to chip it down low into the hands of Gravy right towards the slot. She gets stood up. She puts an elbow in the face. And Gravy's going to be headed to the sin bin here as soon as the Sabres touch it up. And Morgan Stanley comes with the loose change. And here they come the other way in a 2-on-2. Back checking his Wallander in front of McIntosh. Dragging forward. McIntosh blows a tire. Silliman goes down to the right wing corner. Puck is loose down here to the near side. Finally touched up by the Sabres at 11:08. Gravy headed to the sin bin. Not sure what they're going to call. I'll be elbowing. See what the call is by the referee. Roughing will be this call. At 11:08 here in the second. That leaves the Sabres shorthanded. Your penalty killers out there now for the Sabres are going to be Monaco along with Stamp, Schultz, and Monaco fires one towards the net, bounces in there. Maybe Schultz and Nemke are going to be your blue liners. And this penalty kill brought to you by Classic Packaging of Northbrook, Illinois. Classic Packaging. You can't have a penalty without a box. It's Monaco taking your draw. Stamp in the slot. Monaco wins the faceoff. She gets taken down. Try to send one from her butt there in the left wing corner. She does. She's on the forecheck now in front of the net. Monaco going to force her to go out here to the other way. And they go D to D. Quick to chip it past Monaco. Sauced out towards Stamp. Backing up is Schultz. Monaco gets back in front of it on the Morgan Stanley bench side. Hitting the brakes going to be the Morgan Stanley forward. Monaco knocked it free into the hands of Emma Schultz, who backhands one out of his own Jalmerson style. And that puck slides all the way towards the Morgan Stanley goaltender. And it's picked up by Morgan Stanley. Cut off by Stamp. Going away on the far side. Backing out of the zone is going to be Shattuck St. Mary Sabres. Chip past Karami into the hands of DeBus. Heitzel out there now. Puck is loose for Karami. Karami gets the center and fires one in towards his hand doors. Bouncing it off the back there and picked up by the goaltender. And Morgan Stanley going to work left to right. Heitzel comes in between the legs of Heitzel. Sends it over here to the near side. Picked up by Karami. Karami trying to get knocked off the puck by Morgan Stanley. Muscles one for Karami. Stuffs it and sends it right back the other way. And it's picked up by Morgan Stanley. Going to try to regroup here on this Classic Packaging PK. 9:53 to go in the period. 44 seconds to go on that Classic Packaging PK. And it's going to be Karami forcing him back top of the right circle. Looking to cycle here on the near side. Morgan Stanley going to work. Running overload. Trying to get that box out of shape. Back across to the high point. Cut off by Claire Clifford. Bouncing puck towards the slot. Knocked away by DeBus. Loose change kicked up by Morgan Stanley. Left side as they switch overload the other way now. And it's picked up here by DeBus. DeBus going to push it up the ice. She hits Heitzel. Reka going to work. Hodrack drops it for Clifford. Clifford walks it in. Over the far side. One-timer by Heitzel. And she 9-irons it over the net. Into the right wing corner for Clifford. And the puck is loose. 8 seconds to go on that Classic Packaging PK. Morgan Stanley pushing it up the ice now on the far side, or near side, towards Karami. And that'll do it, folks. We are even strength. Down right wing corner, past Karami. Into the left corner for Sullivan. Sullivan puts a stick on it, knocked it free. Girl from Morgan Stanley goes down. And it's picked up by Morgan Stanley here on the near side, right wing hash marks. Coming in is JJ. Thrown past Watson and JJ in the left wing corner for Sullivan. At 8:53 to go in the second. Down left wing corner, Sullivan knocks it loose once again. Try to sauce one over to JJ. Picked up here by Morgan Stanley. Jeviskova forced to throw it back inside his zone. And it's touch up offside, so Sabres get a little bit of a break there. Off the stick of Jeviskova, that's going to slide down for an icing. And we're going to bring that one all the way back. 8:34 to go here in the second. And a face-off down to the left of Sunderbrook in the right wing circle. The one-man wrecking crew, folks, they don't call her the best color commentator in the business for nothing. As she offers quite a bit of strategic commentary. Out there now for the Sabres. Jeviskova in the slot along with Silliman and Satterstrom. McIntosh is the other blue liner, and Watson is your centerman. Silliman tried to sauce it out of his zone. She gets knocked off the puck right into the slot towards the goaltender. Sunderbrook, who's going to smother it as Morgan Stanley came in. Sunderbrook makes a nice play there, sliding out of the net to put a glove on it. And take away the shot from Morgan Stanley because that was a high danger chance for Navy Blue, for Minnesota Navy. And we'll do it again from the right wing circle to the left of Sunderbrook. Watson on your faceoff. looking to pull it back in the right wing corner. Coming in is Jevascova. Puck is loose for Sullivan. She's tied up out to the far side for Sanderson. Threw one right towards the middle, and Sullivan puts a shoulder right in that girl's grill. No calls is picked up by Allie McIntosh. McIntosh up here to JJ. Julie going to work there on the near side. Jevascova has to pull it back down behind the goal and makes a little fancy move there. And here she goes, pushes it up the ice. She's got Sanderson on her right. Jevascova walks in, left side, kicks it over to herself, down behind the goal line. Sorry, pass! Broken up by the goaltender. Firing shot is going to be Jevascova back into her hands. Julie going to work, right hash marks, right dot. Comes across, and she's got Watson. Watson with the one-timer pad save by the goaltender. Morgan Stanley in the left wing corner. Back behind the net. It's going to be Sanderson on the forecheck. Sanderson poked it loose down low. Morgan Stanley going to try and tie it up. It's 2-on-1. Watson trying to muscle it out. She can't. Morgan Stanley gets the loose change. And they're going to send it over here in a 3-on-2 the other way in front of McIntosh and Schultz. High right circle. Shot fired. Blocked by Schultz. Sergeant Schultz knocks it free for Watson. Watson up towards Jevascova, who pulls it across. Nice tail drag there. And send it forward to Schultz. Schultz and Sanderson. Schultz across the blue line. Goes to the left wing side. Schultz fires one just underneath the glove of the goaltender here to the near side for Monaco. Monaco chips it to herself. Top of the right circle. Goes to work along the half wall. Sends it over to Nemke. Nemke, top of the right circle. Fires a shot. Rebound for Monaco. Tied up for Weaver. Weaver fires a shot. Saved by the goaltender for Monaco. Monaco back into her forehand now. Pulls it back around. Hangs on in front of the Zandors now. Monaco hammered in the back there. Coming in is going to be Hale as Monaco went down. Monaco laying on the puck right now. Trying to get up as she's on to one knee. Monaco still battling and hanging on to it. She gets taken down again. And we're going to get a frozen puck here at 6:45 to go here in the second period. And the one-man wrecking crew has to make her way over to her locker room and get dressed for her contest. Thanks for joining us, number 14. Face-off here in front of us. Monaco going to take the draw. Hale on the half wall. Weaver at center. Monaco wins on cleanly to Hale. Hale to the point for DeBus. DeBus to Nemke. Nemke sends it back down low, just past the reaching hands of Monaco, picked up by Hale, right wing corner. Hale over to Weaver. Weaver trying to drag it out to the far side, right point, couldn't get it to her, cut off by Morgan Stanley, picked back up by Cinnamon, and Weaver sends over here to Kai on the near side. Hale tied up, coming in is Monaco on the defensive side of it, left wing hash marks. Monaco picks it up to the point for DeBus. DeBus fire shot, blocker saved by the goaltender into the hands of Morgan Stanley, and here comes Morgan Stanley the other way in front of Nemke. Nemke going to cut her off the blue line, coming in is Hale. Right side, centering pass, broken up by Monaco as she falls down. Sunderbrook's going to fall on top of it. And let's check the replay, folks. A good back check there by number 9. Coming up the ice going to be Morgan Stanley, cut off by Nemke, pulling it back. Try to centering pass. Back in the hands of Morgan Stanley. Monaco comes from behind, knocks it loose, and then blows a tire. And Sunderbrook able to smother it. Now to get a face-off on the left wing circle to the right of Sunderbrook's blocker with 6:08 to go here in the second. And it's going to be Stamp or Sunder. It's going to be DeBus on the half wall along with Stamp. And Vasily, I'm sorry, that's not Stamp. That's going to be Gravy. Knocked loose by Wallner into the hands of DeBus. DeBus back to Wallner, knocked loose by Morgan Stanley. Wallner's got to come back and get it. Gets over to Eloise, dropped up in the air, kicked forward by Gravy. Gravy pounds up the puck, and here comes Morgan Stanley the other way. And his puck is dancing all over the place at center ice, folks. Wallner gets tied up. She didn't like it. Girl from Morgan Stanley lost the 6. Centering pass, and it plays broken up by Karami. Morgan Stanley trying to go to work, but it's picked up by Karami and DeBus down the left wing corner. Eloise gets your pocket picked. Centering pass towards Morgan Stanley. Pushing it forward is going to be Gravy. One-handed it out of the zone. Picked off by Morgan Stanley, knocked loose by Eloise. Top of the left circle, kicked free by Wallander down the left wing corner by DeBus. And it's going to be Shattuck looking for a line change here as they headman it out of the zone for Gravy trying to hit Clifford. And Morgan Stanley going right back to the way of Fallon. Wallander picks her pocket. It's Wallander and Clifford 2-on-2. Wallander fires a shot. It's going to be a Wallander goal. Maggie Wallander at 5:06 gets Shattuck on the board here in the second period for the Sabres. Maggie Wallner, 4-0, making it right now for the Sabres as we head back out to center ice. Your lineup headed out there for the Sabres. Jevascova, Heitzel, and Clifford. Blue liners are going to be McIntosh and Sullivan. Heitzel on your draw. Face off one back towards McIntosh and Sullivan. Sullivan sent it over here to Jevascova, got a shoulder right in her back there, and she's going to maintain control, though. Hits Heitzel. Heitzel over to Clifford. Clifford right wing side. Jevascova goes to the net, firing a shot, and the goaltender with the breadbasket save, no rebound given at 4:53 to go here in the second. Face-off goes into the right wing circle. And will be Recca on your draw. JJ in the slot. And Cece on the right side. Blue liners are going to be Allie McIntosh along with Mackenzie Sullivan. McIntosh going to work here in the left wing corner, and she released out to the far side for JJ and picked up here by Morgan Stanley, who's going to chuck it all the way down. That'll be McIntosh in a foot race as that one heads into the right wing corner. We're going to get an icing, and we're going to bring that one all the way back. 4:35 to go here in the second. 4-0 is your score, and Coach Murray goes for the line change. It'll be Stamp along with Satterstrom up front, flanking left and right of Kate Watson. Blue liners are going to be McIntosh and Sullivan from left to right. Watson on the face-off in the right wing corner. Watson looking to pull it back right into the hands of Sullivan, and she does. Sullivan makes a move left, then goes right, sends it over to Stamp, high slot. Stamp fires a shot, glove save into the right wing corner. It goes for Morgan Stanley, who tried to throw one past Satterstrom. Zamboni door bounce. Call it Bensonville bounce from where we're from. And it trickled off the other way, kept in by Stamp. Stamp chips the one back down for Watson, picked off by Morgan Stanley. They're going to push it up here to the near side. Morgan Stanley sends it out past McIntosh, and it's going to be Sullivan in a foot race. Into the right wing corner. A girl from Morgan Stanley blows it tired. Sullivan gets the pick, loose chain, picked off by Morgan Stanley, and the Sabres are going to be headed to the sin bin as Stamp pulls up the tripping at 4 minutes to go here in the second period. So Stamp tripping at 4 minutes to go in period number 2. As we head back to the penalty kill, this penalty kill brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts Coffee. America runs on Dunkin'. Dunkin' Donuts Coffee, the official coffee of the Shattuck St. Mary Sabres. Parents, your penalty killers out there now are going to be Heitzel along with Sophia Monaco, and your blue liners are going to be Schultz and Nemke. It's Monaco on the forecheck as that was thrown down by the Sabres. Coming in is Monaco, forces to break it out here to the near side. She curls back around Monaco, busting up the ice to cut her off here at the blue line. Met by Heitzel. Sauce high into the air over Monaco into the far side towards the penalty box. Cut off by Sophia. Bouncy puck is loose in the hands of Schultz. Schultz over to Nemke, D to D. Nemke up to Recca. Recca pulls it forward. It's Heitzel going left wing dot. Monaco goes to net. Recca toe drag, fires a shot. That's going to be a Recca Heitzel Sabres goal. A shorty, folks. Let's check the replay. As that went from Nemke to Heitzel. Heitzel comes in, toe drag, releases it upper right-hand corner, top shelf, where Mama hides the cookies. That was going to be Heitzel from Nemke at 3:30. Here to go in period number 2. It's a shorty, folks, and it's 5-0. Headed back out there for the Sabres. Schultz and Nemke on D. Satterstrom and Watson are your forwards. And as John Fontana likes to call them, our shorthanded goal scorers. Here comes Morgan Stanley up the ice, cut off by Watson at the blue line here near side. Pick back up Morgan Stanley. Right side, fires a shot, saved by Schunderbrook at 3:12 to go here in the period. 1:12 to go on that Dunkin' Donuts PK. Face off to the left of Sunderbrook's glove in the right wing circle. In the slot goes Schultz, then Satterstrom. Watson going to take the face off. And it's going to be Nemke, right corner, is going to throw one on the far side. Out towards Satterstrom. Madrid going to push one up one hand and poke checked away by Morgan Stanley. And regrouping is going to be Navy. And then the top of the right circle, cut back. Met by Nemke along with Watson. Trying to cycle it at the blue line. Picked up here by the Sabres, Nemke. Knocked loose by Morgan Stanley, and they're setting up their power play with 52 seconds to go at the right point. Coming out towards Watson. Makes a move around her right dot. Toe drag down behind Nemke. Trying to go right to left behind the net. Met by Schultz. Backhands and siphoning behind the net. Looking for the centering pass. Right on double door. Fire shot. Save. Kicked forward by Morgan Stanley. And back behind the net. Chopped up in the air by Schultz. Schultz, left wing corner. Puck is loose here. Kicked out of the zone by the Sabres. And that puck slides around end on end. Picked up by the Sabres. Met by Satterstrom. And the Sabres get a line change in, at least defensively. DeBus heads out there. Satterstrom still on the forecheck now. 19 seconds to go on that Dunkin' Donuts PK. Picked up by Watson. Watson right in front of Blue Pay. Looks to fire a backhand shot. Pad save by Morgan Stanley's 5th goaltender. And the rebound here to the near side. Little Gorbatenko flip out of midair. Bouncing puck in front of Karami. Karami poke checks. Coming in is the bus. Poke check once again by Karami. Picked up by Wallander. Out to the high slot by Morgan Stanley. Knocked loose by Karami once again. Firing a bouncing puck towards the net of Sunderbrook. And a rebound by Gravy. Gravy out to the point towards Stamp. And we are even strength, folks. And it's back in the hands of Morgan Stanley in the slot. Poke checked away by Gravy. Gravy right wing corner now. Gravy behind the net of Sunderbrook. Sends a bouncy puck on the far side for Stamp. Stamp backhands one forward towards Gravy. It's Gravy and Wallner in a 2-on-1. Here comes Gravy, 97 seconds. Gravy fires a rebound shot. Here to the near side for Wallner. The defense made a nice play, forced Gravy to take that shot as she took away the pass. And Gravy didn't, I don't think, got the shot off that she wanted on that one. In front of the Zam doors, Morgan Stanley takes it away from Wallner. There was 2 on her. And the puck is sent here to the near side with $1:20 to go here in the second. And there was a stretch pass looking for the home run there. It was Morgan Stanley. It's picked up by Karami. Karami tries a Mohawk spin around shot and fans on it. It's picked up by Morgan Stanley the other way. Back checking his Heitzel. Poke check by Karami. Picked up by Morgan Stanley. Fired a shot blocked by Ava. Number 13 with the puck. Throws it up off the glass behind the net here to the near side for Heitzel. Heitzel to JJ. JJ back to Heitzel. Heitzel and Clifford 2-on-1 with JJ in tow. Heitzel comes in, gets taken down. And we're going to get a power play here for the Sabres. Back in the hands of JJ. It's going to be 6-on-5 over to McIntosh. McIntosh to Sullivan. Sullivan back to JJ. JJ out there, picked up by McIntosh from Monaco. Monaco fires a shot. Hand save, rebound out front for Clifford. And the goaltender finally going to fall. Oh, and there's a takedown there, and that was no good. As the Sabres came in, it was going to be number 16, JJ, put a little hurting on her after she took down Clifford. Tripping will be the call. That is the third penalty of the contest for Morgan Stanley at 38.6 seconds to go in the second period. This power play brought to you by Jay's Beef and Harwood Heights on Montrose and Narragansett. Jay's Beef. You've tried the rest? I'll try the best. Stop in and see Jay, Johnny, Frankie, the Fortuna brothers. Tell them I said hi, folks. Their power play unit out there now for the Sabres is going to be Clifford, Heitzel, and Gravy up front. Nemke and Jebuskova are your blue liners. At the left wing half wall there, looks like it's in somebody's shirt, pants. Nope, up on top of the dashboard. 27.3 seconds to go on this Jay's Beef power play. 1:49 to go on the power play. 27.3 to go here in the second frame. Face off in the left wing circle. Heitzel wins it cleanly back to Nemke. Nemke over the one-timer for JJ. Looking for the tip was Gravy. Over the net it goes. And behind the net, picked off here by Gravy. Back in the hands of Clifford. Clifford tied up by 2. Pick coming in as Gravy. Now towards Heitzel. Heitzel back to Clifford. Clifford picks it up. Fires a shot off the crossbar of the short angle. And it's going to slide out of the zone. Nope, kept in by JJ. Kick forward by Morgan Stanley. Up and out of play into the Sabres bench. That's 6.2 seconds to go here in the period. And we're going to get a whistle. And a face-off just outside the zone. 1:28 to go on that Jay's Beef power play. 6.2 seconds to go here in the second frame. Heitzel wins it back to Jebuskova, who fired one right into Heitzel. And with 0.6 seconds to go, we're going to get an offsides and a whistle. Rekka, I don't know if Rekka's hurt there or if she's laughing, but she took that one. Oh, she's laughing, folks. JJ blasted her there on the one-timer. Heitzel wins that face-off. And that sound is the end of the second period. So at the end of 2, it's the Sabres 5 and Morgan Stanley 0 as we head to the second intermission. It's the ice cut intermission, folks. So this second intermission brought to you by Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. Fireball, ignite the night. At least that's what it says on the bottle anyway. Enjoy the intermission, folks. Go get yourself a shot of Fireball if you feel like it. And we'll see you back here shortly. play for the Sabres. Your starting lineup on this Jays Beef power play is going to be JJ, Rekka Heisel, along with Claire Clifford, CC. It'll be Nemke and Gravy also on your power play. JJ walking it into Clifford. Clifford here on the near side. Sabres working from right to left, or left to right if you're listening on the radio here in the third period. And it's the Jays Beef power play. Jays Beef in Harwood Heights on Montrose and Narragansett. You've tried the rest, now try the best. Stopping to see Jay, Johnny, Frankie, the Fortuna brothers. Tell them I said hi, folks. It's Nemke, top left circle, goes cross ice from Jebeskova, who fires a one-timer, not a one-timer, a flapper, it goes high left. Into the far side, trickling out of zone in the hands of Heitzel. Rekka cuts back in front, just across the blue line she goes. Top of the right circle, pulls back, fires a shot. Blocked by the defender, out of the play she goes. At 16:04 here in the third period. 27 seconds remaining on that Jays Beef power play. Your lineup out there now is going to be Watson taking the face-off. Wallander and Karame up front. DeBus and Vasily are your blue liners. Vasily left point, over to Karame. Karame left circle, sends it over high slot, or high point for Vasily. Vasily to DeBus. DeBus back to Karame. Left face off, fires a shot. Blocked a little bit by Morgan Stanley. Saved by the goaltender. They go D to D here to the near side, trying to ice it down. They do, not tipped away by DeBus. 2 seconds to go on that Jays Beef power play, and that'll do it, folks. We are even strength. Morgan Stanley looking for the spin around shot, blocked by DeBus, knocked loose by Vasily. Into the right corner for Watson, who's going to chip one out of the zone. That puck is on edge, rolling all the way down, and it's going to be slowed up by the goaltender of Morgan Stanley, who's going to pull it back to the defender. Past Watson, out to the right point, cut off by DeBus. DeBus, right face up top, fires a shot off the rebound into the slot. Poke checked away by Satterstrom into the left wing corner. Madrid going to work here, tying it up, knocks it free for Watson, or Stamp rather, picked back up by Madrid. Satterstrom and Stamp going to work behind the net. Morgan Stanley runs into its own player, and a little D-to-D pass here to the near side. Look to go all the way down off the helmet of, that was going to be Stamp, here to the near side for Silliman. Silliman goes back behind the net for Karame. Karame up towards Stamp. Out of play it goes into the Sabres bench at 14:43. Face-off going to go back into the right wing circle to the left of Sunderbrock's glove. Out there now, it's going to be Monaco going to take your face-off. Stamp and Satterstrom up front along with Silliman and McIntosh. Monaco wins it over to the far side for McIntosh. And she's going to come in and dig it out of the boards behind the net. Monaco, left wing side, sends a breakout pass here towards Satterstrom. Off the stick of Satterstrom, out of the zone in the hands of Morgan Stanley. Monaco comes right back in, and Morgan Stanley throws it in deep. Chip loose for Silliman. Silliman pulling on right to left here to the near side. Breaks out to Satterstrom off the stick. Picked up by Morgan Stanley. Satterstrom knocked it free. Knocked loose by Silliman. Picked up by Monaco. Monaco over to Satterstrom. She's got Silliman breaking. Satterstrom carries it in wide left. Monaco in tow and fires one in. Is going to be Madrid left pad, right pad saved in the left corner. Picked up by Morgan Stanley left to right here to the near side. Chip past Satterstrom. Out past Hale and McIntosh. McIntosh going to pick it up here at the blue line. Sauces it up to herself. Knocked away by Morgan Stanley into the hands of Silliman. Mackenzie Silliman sends it up towards McIntosh. McIntosh towards Hale. Kaya walks it in right, left side. Towards Mackenzie Gravy. No go. Popped up in the air by Silliman. Knocked down by Hale. Hale down low from the Gravy. Gravy pushes through. Heads towards the point of McIntosh. That's kicked free by Morgan Stanley. A spinning dime puck on the right wing half wall far side. Nemke pokes like checks it. Picked up by Morgan Stanley. Tried to centering pass. Is broken up by Hale. Kicked loose by Gravy, sent right back in by Morgan Stanley at 13:30. And it's McIntosh goes D to D into the hands of Nemke. Nemke over to Hale. Hale to Gravy. Gravy pushing it forward with Cinnamon. Gravy sends it in deep. It's going to be Weaver on the forecheck. Cinnamon Weaver forced her to go right the other way and cuts it off by Morgan Stanley. Weaver popped it loose. Dragged loose by JJ. Julie Jebeskova puts a shoulder into the girl in the back and slams her into the wall. Jebeskova's pinned in. Picked out by Heitzel. Heitzel knocks it off her stick, top of the right circle, cuts back, high slot, firing a shot blocked by Morgan Stanley. Coming in as Nemke, picked up by Morgan Stanley. 12:57 to go. Swinging it off to the far side of the breakout is Morgan Stanley. Puck's going to trickle out of the zone to the hands of Schultz. He sends it right back the other way in front of the Morgan Stanley bench. It's picked up by Heitzel. Over to Jevishkova. Fires a one-timer. Knocked off the face mask. Morgan Stanley picked up by Heitzel. Heitzel fires a shot. Saved by the Morgan Stanley goaltender. Out to the right point. Chipped over the stick of Schultz. And it's going to be DeBus in a foot race. One honor from Morgan Stanley. DeBus going to send it up here to the near side for Heitzel. Heitzel across the blue line. Up in Newshone. She's got CC on her left. JJ on her right. And it's going to be Heitzel over to CC. CC to JJ. JJ fires one towards Heitzel. Blocked by Morgan Stanley. Chip past Eloise. DeBus out of the zone in the hands of Ava Karami. Karami pulling it back. Looking like Duncan Keith as she pulls back around to the forehand. Knocked it up here. Slided down by Morgan Stanley. Picked back off by Karami. And Karami at center. Knocked it free right back in the hands of DeBus. Morgan Stanley uses Bob and chips it past DeBus over towards Karami. Fires it over the head of Sunderbrook out of the zone. It goes in the hands of Heitzel at center. Heitzel chipping it forward. Nice little head-up play there by Rekka. Rekka left face-off dot. Spins it back towards the slot. No call on the trip up. Out of the zone, right into the hands of Sullivan. And the Sabres gets her pocket pick into the left front corner. Karami coming down towards his hand doors now. Morgan Stanley trying to push it past Ava. No go as Karami stuffs the play. Try to send it out towards Watson. She does. Watson makes a nice heads-up play there as she got body position on the defender who tried to cut her off. It's Watson, sends it towards the middle. Nobody home from the Sabres. Pulling it back as Morgan Stanley pass intercepted by Watson off her skates. Out of the zone towards McIntosh. Cut back here to the near side. Chopping at it is Vasily. No offsides. Poke checked away by Sullivan. Sullivan gets slammed in the wall. Puck is loose in the right corner from McIntosh. McIntosh sends a bouncer up towards Wallander. Wallander trying to hit Vasily. Intercepted by Morgan Stanley. And Watson just tuned it all up for Morgan Stanley there at center. Sunderbrook going to cover that one as it slid towards her in front of the blue paint. We're going to get a whistle at 11:01 here in the third period. Face-off goes into the left wing circle to the right of Sunderbrook's blocker. And it's going to be Kate Watson on the draw. Schultz along with Vasily. And I believe that's Wallander in the slot. Empty on the left wing half wall. Watson trying to pull it back. Face-off won by Morgan Stanley. Pulls it back left point. Out of the zone it goes. Vasily comes trucking in hard. That's offsides, no call. Loose change for Wallander. Wallander at center. Get hacking and whacking. It's going to be Morgan Stanley as Wallander sends one towards the net. Looking to get it to Watson. And Morgan Stanley cycles it back behind their own net. Left to right here to the near side. Pushing it out towards Nemke. Cut off by the Sabres Wallander. Picked up by Watson who cycles it back here to the near side. Nemke thought about pinching and then backed up. Knocked loose by Wallander. Kicked forward by Nemke. Pocket picked by Morgan Stanley. Here they're coming the other way with Satterstrom on the back check in front of Schultz. 3-on-3. Nemke gets back in position. Schultz stops it with her stick. Coming down low is Watson. Watson slams it over here towards Satterstrom. Kept in by Morgan Stanley down towards his hand. There's loose change for Watson. Watson trying to push it up the stairs. Intercepted Morgan Stanley. Fired a shot. Saved by Sunderbrook. At 10-12 to go here in the third. Coach Murray goes for the line change, headed out there now. Going to be Satterstrom, Sophia Monaco, along with Stamp, Blue Liners, DeBus and Karami. Monaco on your face-off. Face-off one from Morgan Stanley out towards Stamp, firing a shot wide right. Coming in is Karami. Monaco coming in for support now. Morgan Stanley off to the left post, met by DeBus and Monaco. DeBus picks out the loose change, and here she goes. Cross ice for Stamp. Poke check by Morgan Stanley. Makes a move here to the near side as Morgan Stanley. Going down is Satterstrom. Left point coming in. Blocked by DeBus. Picked up by Monaco. Taken down by DeBus. Picked up by Karami on the loose change. Karami sends it over to Stamp. Monaco and Satterstrom trying to break up the ice. Kept in by Morgan Stanley. Sabres going to have to pull it back and regroup into the hands of DeBus. DeBus out towards Satterstrom. Satterstrom's got Monaco breaking. Sends one forward. Monaco coming in with speed on the forecheck. Forced her to go on the far side. Right to left. Cut off by Monaco and Stamp. Hansby puck is loose. Left wing corner. Monaco didn't see it as she was trucking back the other way. It's going to be Stamp on the forecheck now. Backing up to Sullivan. But intercepted by Sullivan on the stretch pass. And it's going to be Sullivan walking in right side. She's got Clifford. Clifford on the one-timer and a save by the goaltender from Morgan Stanley. Let's check the replay. That was a nice play. Sullivan with the interception. She comes right up the ice, looking to hit Clifford, who sets up and rips one. But the sliding save by the goaltender from Morgan Stanley at 9:16. And we get an offensive zone face-off for the Sabres. Cece, JJ flanking Rekka. It's going to be McIntosh and Sullivan. JJ picks it up at center, goes over here to Rekka. Heitzel walks it in right point. Coming in, Clifford goes in net. Recca fires the left wing hash off the stick of Cece, and it comes right back over here to the near side for Morgan Stanley. Back checking is going to be Sullivan. Cut off by JJ. Jeviskova knocked it free. Back in the hands of Morgan Stanley towards McIntosh, and the puck slides onto the far side. Looking to go here to work. Recca pops it up into the air, and that one goes out of play towards Coach Johnson. He was almost spitting chitlets, folks. I wonder if Shattuck St. Mary's offers dental insurance for their coaching staff. I'll bet they do. At 8:45 to go here in the third. It's a face-off to the right wing circle to the left of Sunderbrook. Gravy going to take the face-off. In the slot, Sullivan, Wallander, Vasily. Gravy on the face-off. McIntosh pulls it back down low for Sullivan. Sullivan right to left. Makes a move around the forechecker. Hits him just behind McGravy. Behind Gravy at 8:36 towards the goaltender. We're going to get an icing. And we're going to bring that one all the way back. 8:33 to go here in the third. Face off back to the left of Sunderbrook in the right wing circle. The Sabres go for the line change. Gravy going to take the line, take the draw. In the slot's going to be Wallner and Vasily along with Nemke. Your other blue liner is Schultz. Schultz getting it over to Nemke here to the near side of the DDD. Up towards Vasily, out of the zone it goes. It's going to be Gravy and Wallner. Wallner's got to step. Right wing dot. Gravy headed to net. Wallner pulling around the hash marks. Picked up by Gravy on a loose change. Gravy across the right point. Sends it over to the far side for Schultz. Schultz, left circle, fires a shot. Tipped by Vasily. And Vasily didn't like that cross check in the back. It was a little high, I thought. And Gravy puts her into the wall. Right wing half wall. Gravy gets an elbow to the grill. Picked up here by Wallander. Poke checked away by Morgan Stanley. Here they're coming the other way in a 1-on-2 in front of Schultz and the Sabres bench. Sends one in deep. Swings it over here right to left to the near side for Nemke. Nemke met by two. Coming in is Gravy for support. Left wing half wall. She puts a hip on a girl. Knocked it free. Top left circle. Looks to fire a shot. Blocker saved by Sunderbrook. In the hands of Nemke. Nemke over to JJ. JB up towards Cece. Clifford going in. She's got to step to the outside. Right dot. Comes and fires a shot. Blocker saved by the goaltender of Morgan Stanley. Cut off by Nemke. Poke loose by Jeviskova. Jeviskova fires one across. One-timer. Saved by Morgan Stanley. Clifford on the one-timer. Sweet pass by Jeviskova. And a save by the Morgan Stanley goaltender at 7:30 to go here in the third period. That was a great play by the Sabres. Great puck movement and a hell of a save by the Morgan Stanley goaltender. DeBus out there. Centering pass towards Heitzel, back in the hands of Clifford. Clifford over to Karame. Karame back down to Clifford. Clifford working the left one corner, playing catch with Karame, who walks the line like Johnny Cash, and then cuts back over to Clifford. Clifford, high left point, poke check by Morgan Stanley, and she's got one on her. Curling around towards the Sabre benches, now cuts back towards the middle, and goes back around once again the other way. Trying to send it out to Karame, picked off by Morgan Stanley just at the high point, blue line. Top of the right circle, knocked loose by Clifford towards the net of Sunderbrook. And the Morgan Stanley forward just misses on the tap-in goal. And a loose change picked up by Ava Karame. Number 13 walking it in. Tries to go here to the near side. She gets taken down along with the girl from Morgan Stanley. Took the girl with her. Jeviskova comes in. It's getting physical down here in the right corner along the boards. It's going to be Karame and Jeviskova backing up as Heitzel left 3. Cinema Weaver covering right point. DeBus on left point. And the puck is finally free towards here to the near side. Blocked by Heitzel, but Morgan Stanley picks up the spinning puck. Just across the blue line they go in front of Weaver. High left side poke check by Cinnamon. Nice play by number 23. Chips it forward to herself, but it's out of his own, a little hot, too hot to handle. Kicked forward by Morgan Stanley past Weaver. And a loose change picked up by Cinnamon. Weaver goes the backhand pass to Karame, who touches one over here to the near side of Jeviskova. It's going to be JJ and Heitzel. Going to that is Weaver. Picked up here by Heitzel. Heitzel picks it back up, loose change at the blue line. Mohawks around. Knocked loose by the Sabres. Chipped forward by McIntosh back to Heitzel. And it's going to be Weaver on the forecheck as they touch up back on site. Weaver coming in now. Weaver in the right corner. Cycling it back down low is going to be Morgan Stanley. It's going to be Hale and Monaco on the far side. Hale gets to it. Poke check by Stanley. Hop loose by Hale. Coming in is going to be Hale. Kick the free towards Monaco. Monaco knocks it loose. And Monaco is going to be going. Oh, it's offside. I thought Monaco was going to the penalty box. It's Silliman here on the near side. Silliman over to Hale. Up to Monaco. Monaco cuts back across. Poke checked in the hands of Kaya Hale. Hale top left circle goes towards the left wing corner. Monaco in support. Weaver in front of the net. Puck trickles off here to the near side. Silliman right side. Weaver coming in. She gets hammered in the wall. Monaco comes on the defensive side of it. Puck squirts down low. And Morgan Stanley sends over the far side for Hale. Hale out to the left point for McIntosh. Fires one forward. Tipped by Monaco. Saved by the goaltender. Stuffed by Weaver. And another save by the goaltender back to Hale at 5:10 to go. Kyle on the far side now. Looks to go to work. Trying to send it down to Monaco. And she hangs on to it. Sends one towards the left dot. Poke check by Sophia towards the blue paint. Knocked out of there by Morgan Stanley. Going the other way, trying to get a step on McIntosh. McIntosh gets the position. Poke check, they loose. Nice stick by Allie McIntosh. Hale on the far side. Picks up the loose chain. She's got Monaco and Weaver breaking. Hale over to Weaver. Weaver here to the near side. Poke check by Morgan Stanley. Picked up by Monaco. Monaco walks in. Sends it over to the far side for Stamp. Stamp, left hash marks, out towards Schultz. Sergeant Schultz sends it back over to Stamp. Stamp couldn't get to it, knocked down by Schultz at the blue line. We're going to get a penalty on Sabres hooking at 4:29 to go here in the contest. Headed to the sin bin is going to be Savannah Stamp with her second penalty of the contest here in the third period at 4:29. And the Sabres are going to be shorthanded for 2 minutes. Oops. Your penalty kill brought to you by Tim Hortons. There's always time for Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons, the official Canadian coffee of the Shattuck St. Mary Sabres. Parents. Your shorthanded goal scorers out there now are going to be Sanderstrom and Watson, along with Schultz and Nemke. Here comes Morgan Stanley. Watson going to force her to go back down low, and they're going to go cross ice, and they're going to regroup it towards their own bench. Up the ice they go, front of the penalty boxes. Busting it in right side. Then Sanderson forced her to pull it right back out as she cut it off there at the blue line. Didn't like the zone entry. Then Morgan Stanley reversing the ice here to the near side. Met by Watson. Got a piece of it to slow it down. Left wing hash marks now. Morgan Stanley setting up shot. Top of the left circle. Poke check by Watson. Watson in a foot race. Picked back up by Morgan Stanley. They're going to have to vacate the zone and go right back in. Blocked by Sanderson. In towards Watson. Right zone entry. Watson puts a body on it. Knocked it free for Nemke. Nemke going to swing it over here underneath the net to the near side for Madrid. Sanderstrom pushes it up the ice. Out of the zone it goes into the hands of Morgan Stanley. And we got a little over a minute to go on that Timmy Hortons PK as it was thrown by Madrid. Sanderstrom down by the net of Morgan Stanley. The defender hits the brakes and they reverse the ice here to the near side. Out there now is going to be Rekka Heitzel along with Watson up front. Karame and DeBus are your blue liners. Karame pushes it out to the left point. Back in the hands of Morgan Stanley. Fired a shot. Wide left. It was tipped by Morgan Stanley. Karame going to work in the right corner against the forward. She gets taken down. Heitzel comes in. Morgan Stanley knocked it loose. Picked up by Karame to Heitzel, who sends one out of the zone into the right corner. Saved. Slowed up there by the defender. Or goaltender, rather. It's Monaco now on the PK. Cut off by Heitzel. Monaco and Heitzel want to work here near side. Monaco a good body position. DeBus sends it out of the zone. With 16 seconds to go on that Timmy Hortons PK. Here comes Karame hustling up towards the blue line. Slow it up towards Monaco. Monaco going to come around the net. Right, left. She hits the brakes and reverses. The ice goes the other way. Monaco sends it over to Heitzel. Tipped by Morgan Stanley. 3 seconds to go on that Timmy Hortons PK. And you got it, folks. We are even strength with 2:26 to go in the period. And out comes Mackenzie Gravy. Monaco and Heitzel up front. Far side towards McIntosh. Bottom of the right circle. Centering pass busted up by DeBus. Here comes Monaco. Going back in the left wing corner for DeBus. DeBus coming in now. Left wing Heisman picked up by Heitzel. Heitzel left wing corner sends one towards Monaco. Monaco one hands it out of the zone. It's going to be Gravy going to pick it up. Gravy top of the right circle comes in towards the slot. Pulls back. Holds on to a top left circle. Head of the net is Sullivan. Firing a shot is Gravy. Saved by the goaltender. Just under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Centering pass towards Vasily. Off for a stick picked up by McIntosh into the hands of Wallander. And Wallander left wing circle now. Down low for Vasily. Poke checked off the puck by Morgan Stanley. Loose change collected by Gravy. Gravy over to McIntosh. It was stuffed by Morgan Stanley, who sends one back behind the net is Gravy. For Vasily. Vasily centering pass towards Wallander. Play broken up by Morgan Stanley. Coming in is Sullivan. Knocked free. Puck is loose. Top left circle for adds Vasily. Vasily, little knuckle puck slowing in the right corner. Coming is McIntosh from the right point. Nice play by number 7 to sniff that one out. And here comes Morgan Stanley the other way. Cece going to cover D. Sullivan right side. Gets a piece of it, blocks the shot. It's picked up by Allie McIntosh. McIntosh to JJ. 1:12 to go. Julie Jeviskova. Morgan Stanley reversing the ice towards McIntosh now. Tries a toe drag. McIntosh stuffs it into the hands of Claire Clifford. Clifford up off the glass towards Jeviskova. Jeviskova top of the right circle. Poke checked away. Good stick by Morgan Stanley defender. Just under 1 minute to go here in the ball game. Out to the right side. Here comes Morgan Stanley. Pushing it up the ice, cross ice pass in front of Schultz. Sergeant Schultz sends one out of the zone towards the Morgan Stanley benches. JJ picks up the loose change. Knocked free. Hale comes in, knock it up in the air, and it's collected by Morgan Stanley as Clifford couldn't corral it and sent one towards the net of Sunderbrook. She's going to snatch it out of midair, and we're going to get a whistle at 36.1 seconds to go here in the third period. And we'll get an offensive zone face-off for Morgan Stanley to the right of Sunderbrook's blocker. JJ going to take the draw. In the slot goes Clifford along with Schultz and Hale. Your other blue liner is going to be Nemke, picked up by Morgan Stanley, who heads to the slot, fires one off the face mask of Sunderbrook. Puck is still loose behind the net, and sent over to the far side for Kaya Hale. Hale pushing one up the ice, picked off by Morgan Stanley. Top risk, fires one low. Stick save by Sunderbrook here to the near side. 18 seconds to go. JJ puts a body on it, knocked it loose for Clifford. Sidestepping the hit is going to be Clifford, thrown in a nice heavy shot from Morgan Stanley with the puck out to the right side. 9 seconds to go here in the third. Morgan Stanley making a move, top risk, past JJ, right side, fanning on the shot, stuffed by Nemke. Back in the left corner, right corner. That sound is the end of the ball game. Your final score here at JP Parisi Arena. The Shattuck St. Mary Sabres 5 and Morgan Stanley Minnesota Elite Navy 0 as we head over to our favorite part of the broadcast, Rockies recap. For the visiting Morgan Stanley Minnesota Elite Navy, 3 penalties on the score sheet. Number 14 tripping in the first at 6:44, number 20 hooking in the first at 2:22, and number 4 tripping at 38.6 seconds. For the home team and victorious Shattuck St. Mary Sabres, penalties on Mackenzie Graby roughing in the first or second at 11:08, and Savannah Stamp had a pair tripping at 4 minutes in the second and hooking at 4:29 in the third. Goals scored by Julie Jebaskova, assisted by Rekka Heitzel at 13:24 in the first. Claire Clifford, assisted by Julie Jebaskova at 10:39 in the first. Mackenzie Graby, assisted by Julie Jebaskova in the first at 6:19 on the power play. In the second period, Maggie Wallander, unassisted at 5:06 in the second. Rekka Heitzel rounding out your scoring with a shorty, assisted by Madigan Nemke at 3:30 in the second. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you shortly as the 16U team at Shattuck St. Mary's will be taking on Minnesota Gold here in about 22 minutes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon, folks.